welcome to a new sports channel on YouTube, Gurus TV, where we bring you analysis, updates, and discussions, previews of all sporting events around the globe. We want to do a quick one on the preview of the Premiership, English Premiership. Yeah, it starts this weekend, and we are here to bring you the analysis and previews as and when the matches unfold. And the drama is back, the entertainment is back on our screen, the special conditions amid the pandemic and all stuff. Fans not in the stadium, but we are here to bring you that excitement, that drama, that entertainment. So make sure you subscribe to this channel, and we'll give you that updates that you need. Let's start with the prediction of how the top four and the bottom three, the PFA, the Golden Boot, and the 2 Europa spots. I would like to start with the top four. I still see Liverpool to have the bigger chance, bigger opportunity ahead of all the rest, and I give them the edge of Manchester City because they've kept their squad, their manager is still there, they have their drive, they have their motive. Now they are not under any pressure to win the league than they used to since they've broken that genes of not winning the EPL. I think they have free mind now, and they are well conditioned. Considering that, I think of the top 6 clubs, they are the ones who got who are well conditioned with respect to preseason and stuff. Because they weren't involved much in the European game, even though Spurs, but I don't really see Spurs that much. They haven't made a lot of additions to their clubs, to their team. And Liverpool still have the edge, even though the competition is going to be quite closer than it was last season. They still pull out and pull this off, and they'll win it. And City will be close competitors. They'll still. I think City still have a problem with their defense, and they haven't done much to correct it. They've signed Etenaki, and possibly Koulibaly could arrive, but I still think I don't like their way of defending. Defense is of two. I believe they come in two shapes: system and the personnel. They go hand in hand. You've got to get the right system and the right personnel, or you need to get the personnel right, or you need to build a system with the personnel that you have. But I don't see Man City doing that. I haven't seen them done that for quite some time, but I expect them to be better than they were last season to push Liverpool. And the third spot I'll give to Chelsea. They've made quite an interesting addition, but I still think it will take them some time to gel, to give the performances that we all expect them to give. But it will take some time, but they can still manage to be at the top 3. But they wouldn't be able to give challenge. They wouldn't be able to be in a position to challenge City and Liverpool that much, because City and Liverpool are already settled. They don't need much. But Chelsea need new players who need to settle in the Premiership, new league, new manager, new club. So it will take them some time. With the 4th spot, I think it's going to be a fight between Arsenal, Man United, and Jose's Spurs.
I think this year's EPL is going to be very, very tough and competitive. Arsenal are very, very stubborn this season, and I think they are going to drain those who are going to win the champion and the EPL a lot of points. They are going to drain a lot of points from them, and I think Manchester United and Chelsea stand a better chance of winning than the others because I think Chelsea have gotten reinforcements and I think they will be very, very tough to beat. Manchester United because well, they is forming a very, very formidable side and I think they can win. If Martial, Rashford, and Bruno come to play when they are needed the most, yeah, so they can win. Arsenal and Tottenham will be very, very stubborn and they will take a lot of points from those I think are going to win. Manchester City and Liverpool, I think they are going to lose a lot of big games. Yes, even though Liverpool won it by a wide margin last season, I don't think they are going to be the same Liverpool we knew last season. Manchester City, Pep is going. Is not going to. I don't think he's going to win any EPL trophy again. He's not going to win the Premier League again. That's all. He's not going to win again. Yes, and I think yeah. Kevin De Bruyne is a wonderful player, but he needs. And I think the Manchester City needs a new coach. Even though Pep is a very good coach, but I think a new coach might bring them back into the race. Tottenham also have stand a chance of winning though. I don't think it's. I think they have slimmer chances. So yeah. So my top four teams. I think Chelsea, Manchester United, Liverpool, and Man City. Those who are going to play Europa, Arsenal and Tottenham. Yeah. I don't think this season will give chance for all small teams to come into the top four, top six even. So yeah. So the top four is Chelsea, Manchester United, Liverpool, Man City. Yeah.
In the top four in the Premier League. And in my perspective, from the way I saw things in last season, Liverpool has shown some consistency over the 4 years or a period of 4 years, and they are reaping the results of it. They made it to the Champions League final the previous year. They repeated that feat because of the consistency, maintaining the same number of players, the same players in the season, and that has paid off for them. And I believe that is the way to go forward in making a team. Maintaining players brings consistency. Um, Thinking about that and considering those factors, Man City has also done a lot of stuff. Basically, last season we saw them losing the league to Liverpool because of a few mistakes that they did, kind of mostly in the defensive areas. They were lacking a lot, and I'm still curious to know how Guardiola is planning to fix the defensive leakage in their team. I've seen him make a couple of signings like Nathaniel, and I'm yet to see what kind of player he's going to bring in, considering Nathaniel is even injured. So let's see what's going to happen. But knowing that the Premier League is one of the most difficult tournaments to defend, I believe Liverpool is not going to have that gap he had or they had last season. So it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one. But I'm much confident that the top two is going to be between Manchester City and Liverpool as usual, with the gap being very little. Whoever is going to win it is going to win it by maybe a slight margin. I don't expect anything more than 6 points at the end of the season between the first team and the second team. Considering the third and fourth position, that is going to be very interesting this season because Chelsea has done something that is we haven't seen for a very long time in their history. That is buying so much players in the summer, and considering Havertz, considering Ziyech, considering Werner, who has been one of the most prolific strikers in Europe, it's going to be an interesting season in the EPL. And with that, I'm sure and positive that Chelsea is going to compete in the top four. I'll give the third slot to them, or probably they might compete for the second slot, even though they are not yet at a position where they can win the league. They are now going to gel their team together. But taking out injuries and everything going on perfectly for them, or things going well for them with a little bit of luck, I'm sure the third position or second position is going to be theirs. Manchester United is another team to look out for this season. Manchester United is going to be tough to battle against. They have some experienced players, they have some good prospects in their team. Their only problem is injuries and not finding the right balance for their team. And considering their signings, I've seen them sign VDB, who is a very good player. They have some players picking up form. Someone like Fred hasn't been very good in the previous seasons, but at the end of or the latter part of last season, we saw Fred upping up his game and taking more responsibilities. We are seeing the children in the team like Greenwood and Mugia growing up to be what we expect them to be. So it's going to be interesting watching these players playing together for a while. And like I said, consistency matters in the EPL. When you have the same players and they are improving their game, they are improving working on their mistakes, it really helps the team. So I think Manchester United is going to be one of the teams to watch out for in the top four position. And if I'm being confident, I think they could have the third or fourth position, one of them. Another team I'd like to consider will be Arsenal. Another team I'd like to be considered is Arsenal. Arsenal hasn't really been good over the years because they've had average players throughout. But thinking of it, this past season, they've been fantastic in the league. Considering Arteta and how he's managing the team, the kind of signings he's making, how he's trying to solve their problems, Arsenal is going to be a team to contend with. And if not for the way Chelsea and Manchester United, the character that they have, I would have considered Arsenal in the top four. But considering the character of Manchester United and Chelsea, their psychology, their presence, and their confidence in the league, and how other teams are afraid of them or consider them more to be a top four team than Arsenal or to be a bigger club than Arsenal, I think psychologically it's going to affect Arsenal's progress, and they are not going to overcome that losers ideology or mentality in them, or where they feel. I think it's going to take time for them. But this season, I'm thinking if they have a little bit of luck on their side, they are also going to make it into the top four. But the best position I'm considering or thinking of is in the Europa League or being in fifth position. Other teams I'm looking out for is Everton. Everton signing James Rodriguez is one of the most fantastic things I've seen in the EPL. And considering what Ancelotti is doing with the team, it's just marvelous. He's not really spending much money, but he's really getting important players in his team. So Everton is to be watched out for the top six. And maybe if Everton does things well, they are going to be sixth in the league table. But not forgotten, I've not forgotten Jose Mourinho's Tottenham. This is the first proper season for Jose Mourinho, since in the first season he had kind of a half season. He didn't have all players available. We have Harry Kane coming back from injury. We have other players who are going to be available, and I'm waiting to see the magic Jose Mourinho is going to work, since he's also a master tactician. So they haven't really signed new players to make their team look like they are going to compete for anything. But knowing Mourinho, he doesn't really need good players to achieve what he wants to achieve. So it's something that is a mystery to me, but I wouldn't be surprised if they will be playing in the Europa League. For top four, they are completely out of it because they don't have the players it takes. But in the Europa position, I think they can compete for it.
Um, Liverpool were amazing last season, but to be honest, this season I don't see them repeating what they did last season. I don't even see them coming anywhere close. I don't see Liverpool coming anywhere close to what they did last season because, when Klopp inherited the team, they had a goal, and I think that the players were so intensely motivated to achieve that goal. But now that they have clinched the title and achieved their goal, I think that their psychological impetus has plummeted a little, and that was evident in their remaining games last season after they were declared champions. See how Manchester City trashed them, and I think that's probably that form is going to repeat itself this season. I mean, they're gonna lack some motivation, coupled with the other fact that their African players will be leaving them in January to play African Cup of Nations. So I don't really see Liverpool winning the title again. I actually see them struggling this season. I see a struggling Liverpool. I think they will come up third.
Um, Manchester City with a couple of additions, probably with a little bolstering of their defense, will probably be able to come up second. Yeah, with Pep Guardiola, but I still think that they winning the league title will be a little bit of too much of an ask because Pep Guardiola, his kind of football has been going on for so many years in the Premier League, and I think the teams have gotten accustomed to how to accommodate that kind of play. So I don't really see him um, become that dominant force he was about 2 years ago. But I feel that the new fragrance of Frank Lampard, with his new signings and all, could cause an upset in the Premier League. I feel Chelsea might win the league. Yeah, so I think Chelsea might come first, Manchester City second, and Liverpool third. But fourth will be a little. I think that will be the place to run for because teams like Arsenal, teams like Manchester United, teams like Tottenham will all be gunning for that spot fourth. But I think for me, I favor Jose Mourinho's side to um, get an up over the rest because Mourinho has a lot of experience in the Premier League, and he he has he doesn't really need top players to execute his mission. He's a top coach, and with low pressure on him, he can deliver. I think he can do something with Tottenham Hotspurs. I see Manchester United come fifth, even though Bruno Fernandes might, but I don't see Manchester United. Um, I mean, Bruno's injection into the team brought a new air of freshness, but I feel that that's very transient. It's not something long lasting. So after that honeymoon phase is over, they'll probably come back to where they were, back to square one, and see themselves playing a lot of draws and um, yeah. So I don't see Manchester United make the top four this season. Um, and the sixth team um, probably be Arsenal. So Arsenal sixth, Manchester United fifth, then Tottenham fourth, Liverpool third, Manchester City second, um, Chelsea first. Yeah.
Golden Boot, I see Kane, Aguero, Salah, and Aubameyang. Yeah, they see the serious suspect. I don't see Jamie Vardy pulling it off this time around. I don't because Leicester are going to struggle a bit this season. I don't trust their manager. Yeah, sometimes interesting and he falls when needed the most. I don't think they can do that. And with the PFA, personally, I want Mane to win it. I think it's his time now to shine. You know, I want Mane. I want to see Mane on top. But it's still a long way to go. Even within the Liverpool setup, I think he has a challenge from Salah and Van Dijk, even Henderson because he's an English boy. But one interesting thing is with Manchester United, I think they are going to have some little political squabbles, and it's going to be interesting with how the media would give them that pressure, especially with the Dean Henderson sitting on the bench, seeing the hair playing in and out. Going to be interesting to watch.
PFA Player of the Year. I think De Bruyne deserved it, and I don't think he can replicate the same performance this season. I think Bruno Fernandes of Manchester United is going to win the PFA Player of the Year, and um, Chelsea's Timo Werner or Arsenal's Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is going to win the Golden Boot because I think if Chelsea put Timo Werner at the helm of the attack, and I don't think he misses a lot of chances, and he's going to score most of the chances because of the attacking setup Chelsea have put up. And so he might win the Golden Boots. And Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, he's a wonderful player, brilliant player, and I think he can win again the Golden Boots like he did last season. So yeah, Jose Mourinho he's the man to beat in Tottenham. Aubameyang is the person to beat in Arsenal. De Bruyne is going to be very vital for Pep Guardiola and Manchester City. Chelsea, I don't know, but I think Frank Lampard is going to be the EPL champions this season, or Ole and Manchester United. So yeah.
Speaking of top scorer, that is a fantastic thing to talk about in the EPL because EPL is one of the most difficult leagues to score a lot of goals. It's one of the most difficult leagues to score a lot of goals, and we've seen players struggling to be consistent when it comes to scoring. Last season, I remember the league started with Abraham and Aubameyang, Lacazette, and Rashford and others trying to compete, Sterling competing, and in the end, we had someone coming from nowhere to take it away from them. So I'm still waiting to see how it pans out, but we have some interesting characters like Timo Werner coming in for Chelsea. I don't know how the situation is going to be for Abraham. We still have Aubameyang in the league, so it's going to be one of the tough ones. Not forgetting Harry Kane is coming back, Vardy is fully fit and in there. So it's going to be interesting to see. But I am tipping Aubameyang to repeat the same fate like he did last season. I'm thinking he's going to win the top scorer again because Arsenal is gelling at this moment. They are doing fantastically well and he's fitting in perfectly to their style of play. So I'm thinking he's going to win it again. But then, who knows? Maybe Werner will pull a surprise in his first season. Not to forget a player like Pulisic, who hasn't had a complete season with Chelsea because of injuries. If he probably has a full season with them with no injuries, maybe he might also be in competition for that. So we wait to see. But I'm tipping Aubameyang to win it again. PFA player of the season or the PFA winner. There are some interesting characters in the league. We've seen Kevin De Bruyne win it in the previous season. He's a fantastic player by all standards. And now we have new additions and we have new players in the league. We have others also doing extremely well. We have Salah and Mane from the Liverpool side. I was actually expecting one of them to win anyway, but it's all right that De Bruyne won. And we have some new characters in Chelsea. Man United too we are going to see the full power of Man United this season. So it's going to be interesting. But I wouldn't be surprised if one of Liverpool's players, probably Salah or Mane, win it for the first time in their history. Or possibly Aubameyang because he's been fantastic over the years and I think he deserves it too. So let's see what happens, but I wouldn't be surprised if maybe De Bruyne repeats that thing for a second time. I wouldn't be surprised because he's shown that he's the best player in the EPL and no one can doubt that. So let's see.
Now, PFA Player of the Year. PFA Player of the Year. I think it's very likely it could go to a player like Aubameyang or a player like Bruno Fernandes if Manchester United have a good campaign this year. But I think that it's likely for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang to win the PFA Player of the Year. He is such a delight to watch. And I think he might also win the top scorer award. If Bruno, if I think the PFA is probably between Aubameyang and Bruno Fernandes, but top scorer, I would definitely give it to Aubameyang. I think Aubameyang will do the top scorer.
I think two of the teams which got promotion to the Premiership was to go down, and Fulham, West Brom, and one Aston Villa. Yeah, Aston Villa. Those three clubs will go down to the Championship. My reasons are simple. I haven't seen them much in the transfer market. Aston Villa struggled last season, and it took them last round of matches to make it to the league and to survive the relegation. And they haven't still done much, even though they've kept their key player in Jack Grealish, but they still needed to do much. Fulham and West Brom haven't done much, so I don't give them so much of an opportunity to survive the relegation. And
Relegation. I see Fulham struggle very, very badly this season. I think they're going to have it very tough. They're a little in over their heads getting promoted back into the PL. I think they're gonna go back where they came from. I'm Fulham fans. I'm sorry, but um, I think you're gonna go back. And I see a team like Aston Villa also struggle. Yeah, and I think the last team to the last team to be sent back to relegation will be Brighton, Aston Villa, and Fulham. I think these three teams will have it very tough this year. Yeah.
The relegation zone to the relegation zone. I'm thinking Aston Villa is going to go back to relegation. I'm not seeing anything from their side in terms of preparation towards the league, in terms of getting right players, or I don't see anything that motivates me to think they are going to make it in this league. So I'm tipping them for relegation. Another team is Newcastle. Newcastle has really been down there for a while. We saw how Benitez brought them from that relegation zone 2 seasons or 3 seasons ago. And last season they went down there again. And knowing the history of the Premier League, if you keep going down there, you are definitely going to fail. So I'm tipping Newcastle as well to go. And the last team that I might consider for relegation is Southampton because I don't understand. They don't really have a philosophy of staying in the league. They are inconsistent, one of the most inconsistent teams I've seen in the league in recent years. So I wouldn't be surprised if they end up in the bottom end of the table.
but that is how I see the top six, the PFA and the Golden Boot and the relegation side. I think this is all we have for you today. Stay with us, and we'll give you more from Gurus TV. Make sure you subscribe and view.
And welcome to Gurus. We are here to talk about sports, and I'd like you to enjoy, comments, give your opinions and analysis of all football matches. All right, see you. Bye.
Yeah, this is Gurus TV. Subscribe to our channel.